The Star Wars universe is a rich tapestry, but there are times when it could have been even richer. From deleted subplots to abandoned action sequences, these are the Star Wars deleted scenes that could have had a big impact on the franchise. In A New Hope, we meet Luke Skywalker when he and his Uncle Owen purchase C-3PO and R2-D2 from a group of Jawas. It's a fine introduction, and it allows the narrative spine of the film to carry through the two droids. However, deleted scenes from the film reveal that we were originally going to get to know Luke in a different way. George Lucas shot several minutes of scenes on Tatooine that were later cut from the film, which would have shown Luke doing much more than farming. In the scene, Luke sees the space battle that opens the film through binoculars and goes to show his friends what he'd seen. These scenes also introduced Luke's friend, Biggs Darklighter.
Oh, Biggs is right. I'm never gonna get out of here.
During their brief interaction, Biggs explains his plans to sneak away and join the Rebel Alliance. While the scenes would have slowed down the film a little if they'd stayed in, they would have also added a large amount of world building and helped explain some of Luke's whinier tendencies. The Empire Strikes Back features a famous moment in which Leia plants a big kiss on Luke Skywalker to make Han Solo jealous.
Take it easy.
It works, but the moment is later undercut by the revelation that Luke and Leia are brother and sister. As it turns out, things could have been much more awkward. A deleted portion of the kissing scene takes place before Han enters the room, as Luke and Leia talk alone about his recovery. With his near-death experience on his mind, Luke begins to tell Leia how he feels about her. They almost share a more intimate kiss, but they're interrupted by C-3PO, because that's just what 3PO was born to do. The sequence would have also featured Luke revealing his plan to go to Dagobah to Leia, adding even more color to his inner life. Greedo was first introduced in what has become one of the most infamous scenes in Star Wars history, as a bounty hunter confronting Han Solo. But Greedo has a history. In The Phantom Menace, one of Anakin Skywalker's friends turns out to be a younger version of Greedo. In a deleted scene, we see that the kid was nasty from the start. George Lucas shot a lot of additional footage for Phantom Menace's pod race sequence, including more of the race itself and another scene set right after the race. The deleted scene shows Anakin and Greedo getting into a fight because Greedo accused Anakin of cheating. Their fight is broken up by Qui-Gon, who tries to explain to Anakin that he doesn't need to argue if he knows the truth himself. The scene underlines the anger within Anakin, and also lets us know that Greedo has always been a jerk. For much of Attack of the Clones, Anakin Skywalker and Padme Amidala are on her home planet of Naboo. They're supposed to be there for security reasons, but all that time alone together creates a romance. Deleted scenes from the film reveal that the Naboo trip included an extended sequence in which Padme discusses her political career. There's also an even longer scene in which Anakin meets Padme's parents. The sequence may have slowed the final film down a bit, but it adds a lot of depth to Padme. We learn that she wasn't raised as royalty, she loves quiet family life, and she's passionate about helping around the galaxy. We also see Anakin get grumpy when she tells her parents that he's not her boyfriend. One of the best things about the prequels is seeing the Jedi Order during their greatest days. That meant we got to see lots of Jedi beyond the few we'd met already. Sadly, the films have to cover so much ground that we don't get a chance to get to know most of these other Jedi. They're mostly supporting characters who barely get a word in. A deleted scene from the final battle in Attack of the Clones gave some of those supporting Jedi more to do. The missing scene is an action sequence in which Jedi Masters Ki-Adi-Mundi and Plo Koon stage a raid on a droid control ship. The scene was never finished, but at least we got the Clone Wars. There's a lot going on in Revenge of the Sith. That means several deleted scenes fell by the wayside, and some of them follow the rise of what would become the Rebel Alliance. These deleted scenes paint a clear picture of a small group of worried senators discussing how to make a move against Palpatine. The stronger Palpatine gets, the closer they get to rebellion. It's an intriguing subplot, and would have added quite a bit more context for the future of the rebellion if it stayed in the final film. The Force Awakens has to carry on a story that ended on the big screen more than 30 years earlier, and set up a new story with a new cast of characters. That's a lot of ground to cover, and that means some aspects of the world building are left to the imagination. One of these has to do with the Resistance, the Republic, and how General Leia Organa factors into both. Leia played a key role in the formation of the New Republic, but when the First Order rose, many people in the Republic leadership wouldn't believe her when she said it was a major threat to their future. So Leia founded the Resistance, determined to stop the First Order before they destroyed the Republic. In a deleted scene from The Force Awakens, this is given a touch more detail, as Leia sends Resistance member Cor Sella to ask the Republic for help. Sadly, the scene was cut, and we only see Corcella in one shot, just before her death as the First Order destroys the Republic. The Last Jedi is the second film in the sequel trilogy, but the first in that trilogy to really deal with Luke Skywalker in a major way. Director Rian Johnson had to not just introduce this new version of Luke, but also explain the complex emotions that led him to abandon his friends and the Force. It's one of the most important parts of the movie, but some things still had to be cut. One of the most powerful Last Jedi deleted scenes comes shortly after Luke figures out Han is dead. We don't get to see Rey and Chewie tell him that his brother-in-law and friend is dead, but one deleted scene shows us the aftermath. Silent and shaken, Luke sits down in his hut and tries to deal with the loss of Han. You can see the despair on his face, along with the guilt as he wonders if things might have been different if he'd stayed. It's a wonderful performance from Mark Hamill, but it wound up on the cutting room floor. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more Looper videos about Star Wars are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.